What's up, guys? On my channel today, on the Linda Lately channel, I'll show you guys how to make something super delicious and special. This here is called nam tok, or you simply can just call it waterfall beef. It's a Thai Isan / Lao dish that is spicy, it's herbaceous, and it's also acidic, very fresh, and very good for the summertime, or any time of the year really. So stay tuned, you guys, if you want to learn how to make this at home for yourself. Alright, the first thing we want to do is make some kua, also known as toasted rice powder. But before I can even get into that, I need to pluck some kaffir lime leaves from out of the garden. This stuff is wonderful. It's very citrusy smelling, and it's just the ingredient that you need for most Thai Lao cooking. And what I'm also going to be doing to get this process started is just adding 6 tablespoons of sticky rice, raw sticky rice, into a pan with about maybe 5 to 6 pieces of the lime leaves, and I'm just going to let it go for a couple of minutes until it starts to develop some color on there, okay, you guys? It's really easy to make this. Alright, so about 5 to 7 minutes later, this is the result that I came out with. I'm okay with this color. If you guys want to go darker, then you can do that also. If you cook it longer, of course, just because it's raw, it's going to be easy to blend up later to make this into a powder, so just keep that in mind. You either can keep it like this or go a little bit more, okay? Traditionally, in the motherland, you would crush this up in a mortar and pestle, the stone kind, but aha, thank you, Lord. I have a blender, so this is not going to take any time at all. And I'm blending it with the kaffir lime leaves, so it's going to smell so delicious and aromatic and smoky. It's going to give a really good flavor to the nam tok. Anytime you're making any type of lap whatsoever, any type of Southeast Asian meat salad, you definitely need rice powder. It's the key ingredient. You cannot do it without it. When it comes to the consistency of the rice powder, you can either do it really fine or you can make your pieces somewhat coarse. I like mine kind of more on the coarser side when it comes to nam tok specifically, because it adds a little bit of a tiny crunch to my salad. I pretty much mentioned this in almost all of my videos, but if you want to use some fresh bird-eye chili peppers, then be my guest. You can use that, or you can use dried chili peppers. I usually use the dried ones because it has a longer shelf life. This is always very spicy. I don't have to guess which pepper is more spicier than the other. And if you want, you can use a mixture of both, but like I said, I'm just going to be using the dried kind today. Right now, I'm crushing up 10 pieces of the bird-eye chili peppers, and to me, because I can handle a lot of spiciness, this is mild. If you want it spicier, use 15 to 20 peppers. Alright, so the herbs, when it comes to making nam tok, are very easily accessible. You can find this pretty much anywhere. You need red shallots, you need green onions, you need cilantro. The list of how much of each ingredient will of course always be in the description box, but again, just like with almost anything else in life, how much you want to put in really depends on your preference at the end of the day. I'm also going to be going back into the garden and picking a few pieces of mint, okay? Isn't it so cool that I can have mint really fresh like this? It's nice. Y'all should grow some at your own house. And also, you're just going to need some lime. I like mine more on the sour side, so I'm going to be using more than the average person. But, you know, like I said, taste depends on you. Alright, let's move on to the last half of the video. We're going to start making the steak. Before we even get to the steak cooking, we need to season it. This is the Thai seasoning sauce that I'm going to be using, also known as nam siu. You can use this one or light seasoning sauce if you can get that. Instead, I would use the light one preferably because it's quite salty, but if you have to get the one that I showed you just now, then don't use that much. Maybe 2 teaspoons at the most should do the job because you don't want the soy sauce to be super overpowering. It just needs to complement the steak. And now we're gonna let the steak start cooking. If you are at the grocery store, you don't want to pick a steak that's more than 1.5 inches thick because if you do, it's going to take too long to cook. And I find that when I cook it for about 5.5 minutes on each side, it comes out perfect the way that I want it to be. If you want to crack some coarse black pepper on there, I would go ahead and do so because I love coarse black pepper. When you are cooking this, also, of course, just remember to get the sides. Don't neglect the sides. Doesn't that sear on the steak look really good? Yes. So you can use New York strip steak or you can use ribeye, whatever choice of meat that you prefer. Once the steak is finally done, you want to let it sit on the cutting board for about 5 minutes or so because if you cut it right away, all the juices in the meat is just going to fall out and it's not going to redistribute in the meat. So basically it's going to make it dry if you cut it too fast. And when you cut it, you can cut it in either thin slices or thicker slices, but I'm trying to make it stretch, so I'm going to do somewhere in the middle. And doesn't the steak look so good, you guys? If you want to cook it longer than I did because you like it cooked, then go ahead and do that, but this is to my liking, and I don't know, you guys, it just came out so juicy, and you can taste a little bit of the soy sauce. I mean, I know it's crazy because I didn't even put that much on there, but it really does make a little bit of a difference. And now we're going to work on making the actual namtok salad. You can put it into your mixing bowl or salad bowl of choice. You're going to be putting in that roasted, toasted rice powder. I like to put a lot. Not only does it make it look pretty, but it tastes really good when you put a whole bunch on there too. I'm now going to be dropping the red Thai bird eye chili flakes. Like I said, you guys, I used 10, but if you wanted more spicier than that, then use 15 to 20. And the rest of this is straightforward because you're going to be adding the other ingredients. You're going to be adding fish sauce. Asian people always put fish sauce in pretty much everything that we cook. You also want to add padaek. Padaek is basically fish sauce, but it's the thicker kind. It's unfiltered, and you guys, I love this stuff. A lot of people put this in everything. We put it in papaya salad, we put it in lap, we put it in kapun, all that and then some, okay? Next, you're just going to be squeezing in some lime juice. I like mine typically probably more sour than others, so I'm going to be using the whole half of a big Persian lime. If you don't want to do too sour, then don't use as much as I did, but I mean, not only does it make it taste good, but it makes it more juicier, so to speak. And I'm also going to be adding MSG just to make it more noa, just to make it more savory, you guys. The padaek and the fish sauce is quite salty, that's why I'm honestly not using that much, but you can see that it does have a little bit of juice in there. That's why you want to serve this right away because if you let it sit, it's probably going to get too dry. The last ingredients that you're going to be adding is the fresh herbs. That includes the green onion, cilantro, and also some mint. At this point, right before serving, you should taste it to see if you need any more seasoning, see if you need any more toasted rice powder, any more red chili flakes or MSG, padaek fish sauce, whatever the case may be. Now is the time to add some more or leave it as it is if you need to. It's important to add your herbs at the very last step because if you add it in too early, then it's going to end up wilting from that juice and maybe from the residual heat from the steak. That's why this is a good time to do it now, and you need to eyeball it, because if you put in too much at a time, it's going to soak up all of that juice when you want that juice pretty much to be mainly on the steak. You guys get what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, the lime juice and the mint, it really contrasts really nicely with the smokiness from the roasted, toasted rice powder, and it also complements the spiciness very well. It gives you a cooling sensation. So it's a lot of flavors going on all at once, but the main thing that you should be tasting when it comes to namtok is freshness. That's pretty much how I made it, you guys. I just add the shallots at the very end. You can garnish it with even more rice powder to make it more pretty and presentable. But that's how I made namtok, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please comment down below if you did. Subscribe to my channel. I post all the time, pretty much every single week. And remember to comment down below if you have any questions, any concerns. I'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe. Peace out.